Some people get exactly what they want without ever raising their voice or forcing the issue. They don't pull you toward their goals. Instead, they simply make you pull yourself. We are taught that influence requires volume and strength. We assume that a direct, forceful command is the fastest way to get compliance. But if you've ever tried to tell someone exactly what to do, you've likely watched that approach fail in real time. The moment the human brain detects a direct command, an invisible barrier goes up. Psychologists call this reactance. Our minds instinctively rebel to protect our autonomy, even if the command is actually beneficial. History's most effective negotiators bypass this resistance entirely by using reverse psychology. They turn a person's natural defenses into an engine for compliance. To truly influence behavior, you have to stop fighting these natural defenses. You can use these 13 counterintuitive laws to hijack human instinct. Our brains operate on a strange contradiction. We desperately crave the freedom to make our own decisions, but when we get too many options at once, we freeze, a state known as choice overload. You can navigate this by offering a very limited set of pre-approved options. If a parent tells a child to study, they get an argument. But if they ask, "Do you want to study math or science?" the child chooses a subject. The brain becomes entirely occupied with comparing the specific options in front of it, neglecting to question the underlying premise. This leads to the implanted idea. If you tell someone your plan, they resist. But if you ask a strategic question that leads them to that same plan, they adopt it as their own original thought. Presenting the illusion of choice allows you to direct behavior while satisfying the deep need for control. They feel completely free, even while walking down the path you laid out for them. We tend to assume people need constant praise and encouragement to stay motivated. But human drive is often fueled by something much more volatile: the ego. The oldest stories we have illustrate this. Give someone a whole garden, but forbid them from touching one specific tree, and that restricted access instantly multiplies the tree's perceived value. Artificial scarcity creates sudden desire. You can trigger this same reaction by expressing a tiny amount of calculated doubt. If you tell someone, "I'm not sure you're ready for this level," their logical assessment of the task shuts down. This chart shows exactly what happens to motivation when doubt is introduced. The baseline desire for compliance drops, but the drive to defend one's self-worth spikes rapidly. The task is no longer a chore, it's a challenge. People will reliably spend 10 times more energy trying to prove a doubter wrong than they ever will trying to prove a supporter right. In an argument, our instinct is to push back with facts and aggressive posturing, but escalating logic usually just solidifies the other person's resolve. Instead, try strategic surrender. If you suddenly concede a minor point, the opponent's defensive posture abruptly collapses. They expect a fight, and when you yield, it leaves them disoriented. You can apply a different kind of pressure simply by saying nothing at all. Leaving an intentional, awkward void in a conversation creates a heavy psychological weight. The human brain hates empty space. To make the discomfort stop, the other person will often over-explain, volunteering new details or negotiating against themselves just to fill the silence. Similarly, appearing intentionally unthreatening or slightly incompetent works in your favor. When people believe you aren't a strong opponent, they drop their guard and reveal information they would normally hide. True dominance doesn't come from overpowering the room. It comes from creating a calculated vacuum that the other person willingly falls into. These laws reveal a clear pattern. Human decisions are rarely driven by rational logic. They are predictable reactions fueled by fragile egos, scarcity, and a desperate need for autonomy. This knowledge is potent. It blurs the line between benign influence and predatory manipulation. Recognizing these patterns reveals exactly when these same invisible strings are being used to guide your own decisions.